Ladies and gentlemen, there comes a time in life when we face disrespect, harsh words, criticism, or unfair treatment. Our natural reaction is to defend ourselves, argue, or retaliate. But today, I want to remind you of a powerful response: silence. Disrespect is an unfortunate reality of life that everyone encounters at some point. It may come from strangers, colleagues, friends, or even family members. No matter how kind, wise, or successful a person is, there will always be moments when they face criticism, rudeness, or unfair treatment. While it is impossible to control the way others behave, what truly matters is how we choose to respond. Our response to disrespect defines our character, maturity, and emotional strength. Some people react with anger while others choose silence. Some engage in arguments while others walk away with dignity. The way we respond not only affects our relationships with others, but also shapes our personal growth and peace of mind. When faced with disrespect, the natural human instinct is to defend oneself. The ego demands immediate justice, urging a person to retaliate with harsh words or actions. However, reacting impulsively often leads to more negativity, prolonging the conflict rather than resolving it. A moment of silence, on the other hand, can be far more powerful than 1,000 words spoken in anger. Silence does not mean submission or acceptance of wrongdoing. Rather, it is a conscious choice to rise above the situation. It reflects a level of self-control that prevents a person from being consumed by the negativity of others. People who choose to respond to disrespect with patience and composure understand that true strength lies in restraint. They recognize that engaging in arguments with those who thrive on negativity only drains energy and peace of mind. Instead of lowering themselves to the level of those who disrespect them, they maintain their dignity by refusing to be provoked. This ability to stay calm in the face of rudeness is not a sign of weakness, but a demonstration of wisdom. It shows that they value their inner peace more than momentary satisfaction gained from retaliation. Throughout history, some of the greatest leaders and visionaries have shown remarkable patience in the face of disrespect. They were insulted, ridiculed, and misunderstood, yet they refused to let negativity define them. Instead of wasting energy on meaningless arguments, they focused on their goals and allowed their actions to speak louder than words. Their patience and wisdom ultimately won the respect of even their harshest critics. When a person refuses to engage in negativity, they rob the disrespectful individual of the power they seek. Those who insult and provoke others often do so to get a reaction. When they are met with silence or an indifferent smile, their attempts to cause harm lose their impact. Choosing to remain silent or to walk away from disrespect does not mean a person lacks self-respect. On the contrary, it shows that they have enough confidence in themselves that they do not need validation from others. They understand that their worth is not determined by someone else's words or opinions. Instead of allowing external negativity to shake their sense of self, they remain grounded in their values and principles. They focus on what truly matters: growth, wisdom, and peace of mind. This approach also prevents unnecessary stress and emotional turmoil. Holding on to resentment or constantly engaging in conflict drains mental and emotional energy. It leads to frustration, anger, and bitterness. But when a person learns to let go of the need to always respond, they free themselves from the burden of negativity. They realize that not every insult deserves a reply, and not every battle is worth fighting. Walking away from disrespect does not mean giving up. It means prioritizing peace over pointless argument. In life, there will always be people who fail to show kindness and respect. But instead of trying to change them, it is far more effective to focus on changing our own reactions. The way we handle disrespect reveals our strength and wisdom. Some people waste time and energy trying to prove themselves to those who do not even deserve their attention. But those who truly understand their worth do not seek approval from others. They know that their success, integrity, and inner peace will always speak louder than words. Silence is often misunderstood as a sign of weakness, but in reality, it is one of the greatest demonstrations of strength and self-control. It takes immense power to remain calm in situations where anger and retaliation seem like the easiest responses. When faced with provocation, disrespect, or conflict, the ability to stay silent requires emotional intelligence, patience, and a deep understanding of oneself. While speaking in anger may offer momentary relief, silence holds the potential to bring lasting peace, allowing a person to rise above negativity rather than be consumed by it. Strength is not just about physical power or the ability to dominate others in conversation. True strength lies in mastering emotions and responding with wisdom rather than impulse. It takes no effort to shout back, argue, or retaliate, but it takes a great deal of self-discipline to remain silent in situations where words could escalate the problem. Choosing silence over reaction is a form of self-mastery, proving that a person is in control of their emotions rather than being controlled by them. It is easy to let anger dictate actions, but real strength is shown when one has the power to respond yet chooses not to. Silence does not mean surrender or cowardice. It does not mean a person is afraid to speak or lacks the confidence to stand up for themselves. Instead, it is a deliberate choice to avoid unnecessary conflict and focus on what truly matters. Engaging in every argument or responding to every provocation only leads to wasted energy and emotional exhaustion. A person who understands the power of silence knows that not every battle is worth fighting. They recognize that some arguments are pointless and some people are not worthy of a response. Instead of getting dragged into negativity, they conserve their energy for things that truly matter in life. In moments of conflict, silence can be more powerful than words. When someone insults or provokes another person, they often expect a reaction. They thrive on stirring emotions and creating drama. But when they are met with silence, their attempts lose their effect. Silence removes the fuel from the fire, causing it to burn out on its own. It leaves the other person questioning their actions and in many cases realizing the futility of their negativity. Responding with silence is a way of asserting control over a situation without giving the other person the satisfaction of seeing an emotional reaction. Self-control is one of the most valuable qualities a person can possess, and silence is a direct reflection of it. When emotions run high, it is natural to feel the urge to react immediately. However, those who have mastered self-discipline understand that silence provides the space needed to process emotions and think clearly. It allows a person to assess the situation objectively and respond in a way that aligns with their values rather than being driven by momentary emotion. Reacting in anger or frustration often leads to regret, but choosing silence ensures that no unnecessary words are spoken in haste. Silence also brings clarity and inner peace. In a world full of noise where everyone is eager to voice their opinions, the ability to remain silent creates a sense of calm and focus. It allows a person to observe, reflect, and make decisions from a place of wisdom rather than impulse. Those who practice silence in moments of tension find that they are not easily shaken by the words or actions of others. They remain centered, unaffected by negativity, and grounded in their own strength. The ability to remain silent is a skill that requires practice and patience. It is not always easy to resist the urge to respond, especially when emotions are high. However, those who develop this skill find that it brings them a great sense of control over their lives. They no longer feel the need to prove themselves in every situation or respond to every challenge. Instead, they walk away from negativity with confidence, knowing that their silence is not weakness, but a reflection of their strength and self-control. Billy Graham emphasized that character speaks louder than words, a principle that holds deep significance in every aspect of life. Words can be spoken easily and promises can be made without sincerity. But a person's true nature is revealed through their actions. Character is not built through grand speeches or public declarations. It is demonstrated in daily life through integrity, honesty, kindness, and humility. No matter how eloquent someone may be, if their actions do not align with their words become meaningless. People may forget what is said, but they always remember how they were treated and the values that were consistently displayed. A person's character is tested in difficult times. When faced with adversity, challenges, or unfair treatment, their true nature emerges. It is easy to talk about patience, forgiveness, and strength when life is smooth. But real character is shown when one chooses to uphold these values even in hardship. Billy Graham understood that words can be misleading, but actions reveal what is truly inside a person's heart. A person who preaches kindness but treats others with arrogance or cruelty is not truly kind. On the other hand, someone who may not speak much about morality but lives a life of integrity is far more honorable. Integrity is a fundamental aspect of character. It means doing what is right even when no one is watching. Many people behave well in public but act differently in private, thinking their hidden actions do not matter. However, true character is consistent, regardless of whether anyone is observing. A person with strong character does not seek praise or approval for doing the right thing. They do it because it is a part of who they are. Their honesty, reliability, and respect for others define them far more than any words they could say. Another important trait that reveals character is humility. People who possess true strength do not need to constantly prove their worth through words. They do not boast about their goodness or seek validation from others. Instead, they allow their actions to speak for themselves. A humble person does not need to tell others that they are kind, generous, or wise. Their way of life makes it evident. Those who continuously praise themselves may gain temporary attention, but ultimately their actions determine how they are remembered. People with genuine character do not feel the need to convince others of their goodness, because their consistency and sincerity naturally earn respect. Character also plays a crucial role in relationships. Whether in friendships, family, or professional life, trust is built not through words, but through reliability and sincerity. A person may promise loyalty and respect, but if their actions do not align with their promises, those words lose meaning. People remember how they were treated far more than what was said to them. A person who values honesty and fairness in their actions will always be respected, even if they do not frequently speak about these values. In contrast, someone who constantly talks about trustworthiness but fails to keep their word will eventually lose credibility. Billy Graham's teachings emphasize that true leadership is not about persuasive words, but about setting an example through character. The most influential people in history were not just great speakers, they lived by the principles they preached. Their honesty, humility, and commitment to doing what was right earned them respect. Those who lead with character inspire others not through speeches, but by demonstrating the values they uphold. Ultimately, character defines a person far more than any words ever could. People may forget conversations, but they always remember the way someone made them feel and the values they live by. A person with good character does not need to constantly justify their actions because their consistency and integrity speak for themselves. Billy Graham understood that in the end, it is not what we say, but how we live that truly matters. History's greatest leaders chose dignity over retaliation, understanding that true strength lies not in reacting with anger, but in responding with wisdom and grace. Many individuals in positions of power have faced insults, opposition, and even betrayal, yet instead of seeking revenge, they upheld their values and maintained their dignity. This ability to rise above conflict and negativity is what made them remarkable. Their legacies were not built on vengeance, but on patience, forgiveness, and a deep commitment to a higher purpose. Retaliation may offer temporary satisfaction, but dignity creates lasting respect and admiration. One of the greatest examples of this principle is the life of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Throughout his life, he faced immense opposition, mockery, and even physical harm from those who rejected his message. Yet he never responded with hatred or revenge. Even when he had the power to punish his enemies, he chose forgiveness. When he re-entered Makkah as a victorious leader, he did not seek revenge on those who had persecuted him and his followers for years. Instead, he pardoned them, saying, "There is no blame upon you today. May Allah forgive you." His choice of dignity over retaliation not only won the hearts of his enemies, but also set an example of true leadership and mercy. Similarly, Mahatma Gandhi faced relentless oppression and humiliation under British rule. Despite being arrested multiple times and enduring violence against his people, he never encouraged retaliation. He firmly believed in nonviolent resistance, demonstrating that strength comes from discipline and moral superiority rather than aggression. His approach ultimately led to India's independence, proving that patience and dignity could achieve what war and revenge could not. His refusal to meet violence with violence earned him worldwide respect and inspired movements for civil rights and freedom across the world. Another example is Nelson Mandela, who spent 27 years in prison for opposing apartheid in South Africa. When he was finally released and became the president of the country, he had every opportunity to seek revenge on those who had imprisoned and mistreated him. However, he chose the path of reconciliation and unity. Instead of using his newfound power to punish, he worked to heal the wounds of his nation. He understood that retaliation would only deepen divisions, while forgiveness and dignity would build a stronger, more united society. His leadership transformed South Africa and made him one of the most admired figures in modern history. Even in Western history, figures like Abraham Lincoln showed immense dignity in the face of opposition. Throughout the American Civil War, he was criticized, insulted, and opposed by many. Yet he never engaged in personal attacks or revenge. He famously said, "Do I not destroy my enemies when I make them my friends?" His ability to lead with grace and avoid petty retaliation helped preserve the unity of the United States and end slavery. His leadership was not about proving his strength through revenge, but through wisdom and kindness. Another example is Martin Luther King Jr., who fought against racial injustice in the United States. He was threatened, imprisoned, and even physically attacked, yet he never responded with hatred. Inspired by Gandhi's philosophy, he led the civil rights movement with nonviolent resistance, believing that dignity and love were stronger than retaliation. His peaceful approach ultimately led to the end of segregation and greater equality in America. He understood that responding with anger would only justify the oppression he was fighting against, so he chose dignity instead. The greatest leaders in history have all demonstrated that true power lies in restraint, wisdom, and dignity. While it is easy to react with anger, it takes real strength to remain composed and rise above the desire for revenge. Those who seek retaliation may win battles, but those who choose dignity win hearts and leave behind legacies that inspire generations. Their lives prove that choosing patience, forgiveness, and moral strength over vengeance is the true mark of greatness. Not every battle is worth fighting. Sometimes silence is the best answer. In life, there will always be situations where one is challenged, insulted, or provoked, but reacting to every confrontation only leads to unnecessary stress and conflict. Silence is often misunderstood as weakness, but in reality it is a sign of wisdom and self-control. It takes far more strength to walk away from an argument than to engage in one that leads nowhere. Choosing silence does not mean surrender. It means recognizing when a response is not necessary and when it is better to conserve energy for more meaningful battles. Many people feel the need to defend themselves in every situation, believing that if they do not respond, they will appear weak or be taken advantage of. However, true strength lies in knowing which battles are worth fighting and which ones are best left alone. Engaging in every conflict only drains mental and emotional energy. Some arguments are fueled by emotions rather than logic, and no amount of reasoning will change the other person's mind. In such cases, silence is a powerful response that prevents unnecessary escalation. Instead of wasting time trying to prove a point to someone who is unwilling to listen, choosing silence allows one to rise above negativity. There are times when words do more harm than good. In moments of anger or frustration, people often say things they later regret. A single impulsive statement can damage relationships, create misunderstandings, or escalate minor issues into major conflicts. Silence, on the other hand, provides the space needed to process emotions and respond with clarity rather than impulse. When faced with criticism, insults, or false accusations, remaining silent can be a way to maintain dignity. Responding in anger may feel satisfying in the moment, but silence demonstrates self-restraint and a refusal to be dragged into unnecessary drama. Silence also has the power to disarm negativity. Many people provoke others simply to get a reaction. They thrive on arguments and conflicts because it gives them a sense of control. When they are met with silence instead of retaliation, their attempts lose impact. Ignoring negativity removes its power, leaving the other person without the response they were seeking. This approach not only prevents unnecessary stress, but also protects one's peace of mind. Walking away from a meaningless argument is not an act of defeat, it is an act of self-preservation. In professional and personal relationships, silence can be a strategic tool. Not every disagreement needs to be addressed immediately, and not every criticism requires a response. Sometimes the best way to handle a situation is to let time reveal the truth. When faced with baseless accusations or unfair treatment, reacting emotionally may only make matters worse. By remaining silent and focusing on one's actions rather than words, a person allows their integrity and consistency to speak for themselves. Over time, people recognize the difference between empty words and genuine character. Silence can also be a form of wisdom. It allows for careful observation and better decision-making. Many conflicts arise from misunderstandings, and speaking too soon can lead to further confusion. By choosing to listen rather than react immediately, a person gains a deeper understanding of the situation and can respond more effectively if needed. Silence provides the opportunity to think critically, assess the consequences, and decide whether a response is even necessary. More often than not, conflicts resolve themselves without intervention, and reacting impulsively would have only prolonged the issue. Not every battle is worth fighting, and sometimes silence is the best answer. It takes maturity to recognize when a response is unnecessary and when walking away is the wisest choice. Reacting to every situation only leads to exhaustion, while silence allows one to focus on what truly matters. True strength is not proven through constant confrontation, but through knowing when to speak and when to remain silent. Some battles are best left unfought, and in those moments, silence becomes the most powerful response. Let success and wisdom be your ultimate response. In life, challenges, criticism, and negativity are inevitable, but how one responds to them, the character and future. Many people waste their energy reacting to every insult, argument, or obstacle, but true strength lies in rising above these distractions. Instead of engaging in unnecessary conflicts, focusing on success and wisdom is the most powerful way to prove one's worth. Actions speak louder than words, and the best response to negativity is not retaliation, but personal growth, achievement, and a wise approach to handling situations. Success is the greatest way to silence doubt and negativity. When people criticize, underestimate, or try to bring someone down, arguing or defending oneself rarely changes their opinion. However, proving them wrong through actions does. By staying focused on goals, working hard, and achieving excellence, a person naturally earns respect and recognition. The best way to respond to those who doubt or discourage is by showing them through accomplishment that their words hold no power. Success not only uplifts a person, but also serves as undeniable proof that negativity cannot stand in the way of determination and hard work. Wisdom, on the other hand, ensures that success is not temporary but lasting. While success can be achieved through effort, wisdom is what sustains it. It allows a person to navigate life with clarity, make informed decisions, and avoid unnecessary distractions. Wisdom teaches that not every battle is worth fighting, and that silence is sometimes more powerful than words. Instead of reacting to every insult or provocation, a wise person chooses their battles carefully, preserving their energy for what truly matters. Wisdom also brings patience, helping individuals understand that time reveals the truth, and responding with intelligence rather than emotion leads to better outcomes. A person who lets success and wisdom be their response does not seek validation from others. They do not waste time proving themselves to those who do not believe in them. Instead, they let their achievements and actions speak for them. They understand that arguing or engaging in negativity only shifts focus from their goals. By maintaining composure and dedicating themselves to self-improvement, they gain respect not just from others, but also from themselves. Self-discipline and resilience become their guiding principles, allowing them to overcome obstacles with grace. In moments of adversity, wisdom helps individuals make sound decisions rather than acting out of frustration or impulse. It allows them to analyze situations logically and respond in a way that benefits them in the long run. While emotions can cloud judgment, wisdom provides clarity and prevents unnecessary conflicts. A wise person knows that true success is not about proving others wrong with words, but about proving themselves right through perseverance and intelligent decision-making. They focus on growth rather than grudges, on progress rather than provocation. Choosing success and wisdom as a response also fosters inner peace. When people engage in endless arguments or seek revenge, they carry unnecessary burdens of stress and negativity. However, those who focus on success and wisdom free themselves from this weight. They rise above distractions, concentrating on personal and professional growth instead of wasting time on negativity. This mindset allows them to live a life of fulfillment and purpose, untouched by the opinions of those who do not matter in the grand scheme of things. Ultimately, the best way to respond to challenges, negativity, and doubt is by letting success and wisdom lead the way. Instead of engaging in pointless battles, channeling energy into self-improvement, achieving goals and making thoughtful decisions creates a stronger and more impactful response. True victory is not in arguments, but in accomplishments. Those who embrace this philosophy not only silence their critics, but also build a life of dignity, excellence, and true fulfillment. In the face of disrespect, staying quiet is not a sign of weakness, but of strength, dignity, and wisdom. Billy Graham's life and teachings remind us that character speaks louder than words, and true greatness is found in retaliation. Silence in the face of insult does not mean surrender. It means choosing peace over conflict and self-control over impulsive reaction. Those who rise above negativity with patience and grace earn far more respect than those who engage in endless battles of words. In the end, it is not how loudly we respond to disrespect that defines us, but how we carry ourselves with wisdom, humility, and unwavering integrity. Let our actions, success, and character be the response that speaks for us.